Programmer.
I'm Omar. I was programmer and environmental artist.
And we're the designers who put together the Mask of Key. So I'm sure that all of you have asked yourselves a question that we also asked ourselves, probably on a Wednesday, maybe Thursday. And the question was, of course, why aren't there more flying squirrels in games? We couldn't really find an answer, so we had to make our own. And here it is. So Key is this fuzzy, furry, flying squirrel-like creature. Now, the Mask of Key, our game, is a third-person hack-and-slash adventure through an alien land above the clouds. We chose third-person specifically so that we could utilize very familiar controls and mechanics to players, such as looking around, well, that's an easy one, and of course, running around, eating acorns, like squirrels do, jumping, and because it's a flying squirrel, Key can also do one additional thing that Kay will show us right now. She will do a glide, if she's better at it. And there we go. So, coming up to the next part here, we have the first narrative point of our game, which is this mysterious shrine. Now, Key takes the spear from this shrine, which then breaks apart this mask and releases a dark entity that then turns its entire village into stone. Now, Key must then go and collect these broken mask pieces we see flying away to save its village. And running up here, we'll see our first glide challenge back over to the village after the Michael Bay effect. Because, you know, he always recommended more explosions. That always makes things better. So, after the little glide, we'll hand over to Kim, and she'll tell us a little bit more about the world of the Mask of Key.
Thank you. As you can see, the world of our game is pretty huge. This presented a challenge to us, as then we had to fill all this space with content for the player, which is not an easy task considering we're only 4 people. We faced this challenge by giving the player lots of little things to do, such as collect these acorns, smash pots, and if you're feeling a little bit evil, you can also smash the stone villagers. The player can also collect achievements. As you saw there, Kay became a murderer. In addition, another challenge we faced due to the size of our world was we found that players were becoming lost and confused about where to go. We overcame this challenge by using our acorn collectible as breadcrumbs, as well as focusing the player path into floating islands in the sky. Coming up here, we have the first mask piece that the player is trying to collect. As you can see, there's a wall of dark smog blocking the path forward. But upon collecting the mask, the smog dissipates and the player is able to progress. But now we're going to skip ahead to a later, more dangerous island, where Omar is going to talk about our combat and enemies.
Thank you, Kim. For the combat, we wanted to create a simple but fun combat experience for the player. And to create this, we needed to design 3 different enemy types with different attacks, each one. The first ones are the mask. They are the minions of this evil entity, and they perform ramming attacks to the player when they are near. They are pretty simple, but in groups, they become more dangerous. The next enemy is the plant. The plant is a stationary enemy that shoots seeds to the player when they are far away, but when the player comes near to these plants, they change their attack to a stab attack. And we have a third enemy type that we will be showing later on this presentation. Each one of these enemies have a specific points in the game to keep blocking the player path of the player and to create a more challenging experience as the player is progressing. Another important factor for the combat is the player and enemy feedback. And to talk about this, I will hand off the microphone to Kay.
Thank you, Omar. So during the design of our game, we found that player feedback was key to gameplay. So for example, in this combat situation here, we're using a few tricks up our sleeves, such as particle effects, especially the glowy ones, combat music, and heart-racing sounds, such as the gurrs and args that we hear now. So go ahead, Key, kill off that plant. Now, just for a bit of fun, we allowed Key to hit the dead plant with a stick. But he's not always doing that in the game. We've also designed challenges which incorporate his gliding ability, such as the one that we see here, where Key needs to glide from one rock spire to the next and avoid a deadly fall. Good boy, Key. Or girl. Gender neutral. Now, we're going to skip ahead to the end of this challenge, where Key has reached the top of the rock spire, And we have this magnificent view of this grand, mysterious skull. And you can guess what we're going to do next. That's right, Key is going to glide through the eye of the skull, where there's a surprise waiting for us inside. I wonder what it could be. Crikey, he's a big guy. Alright, Key, go at him, go nuts. So, as you can see, he's a bit of a tough nut. And, as we say in Australia, he ain't the sharpest tool in the tool shed. So, there is a trick to defeating him, but I'm not going to give it away. You'll need to come upstairs and give it a go yourself. Well, that brings us to the end of our presentation. Once again, we are Team Kronk. I am Kay Chan.
I'm Kim Cuthbertson.
I'm Robert Forehand.
I'm Omar Chapa.
And thank you all again very much for coming out and watching the GD22's Pitch and Play presentations.